All right, hey, guys, welcome back to another episode. And tonight we got a very special guest, none other than Little Vicious himself. Well, he's not little no more. Vicious, welcome to the culture.
Oh man, greetings, Empress. Greetings, everybody. We're up on the line. Greetings.
Welcome. Well, before we go ahead and start this interview, let me go ahead and first shout out to the creator of this shirt I'm wearing tonight, Nick Fly. His name is Juice. He's out of Greenville, North Carolina. And if y'all know him, or even if y'all don't know him, make sure y'all go ahead and cop for this brother. He uprising and representing for the city. So get your
Yeah, man.
Nick
Big
Fly.
up Juice. Big up Juice for that interview. Yeah. Big up Juice and big up everybody. We're up on the live right now. And I taking the interview. Yeah, can't out forget serious. So if you're up on the live right now and you're tuning in, just go on all our men Sky to get serious. You see me?
Cool. So look, let's go ahead and start this off. So Vicious, first off, let me go ahead and welcome you to the culture. First question I got for you. What inspired you to do reggae music?
What inspired me to do reggae music is that a lot of people may not know, but I wasn't born in Jamaica. I was born in here in the US. But my mother and my father was born in Jamaica, and I grew up in the culture. And my big brother, Big Vicious, because it's a Big Vicious. That's why people call me Little Vicious. If you look at YouTube and you look at certain things, my album dropped as Vicious, but I was really never Little Vicious was never really established as my name. It's just something that came along with because my big brother was Vicious. So growing up in the household that I grew up in, I watched my big brother do music, and as a kid, I fell in love with music. So as a kid, when I fell in love with music, I think I did my first show at 5 years old, and I started doing a lot of talent shows and little things around my neighborhood, and that's how the name Little Vicious came up, because people in my neighborhood, Flatbush, big up, Brooklyn, big up. A lot of people in my neighborhood was familiar with my brother. People started to name me Little Vicious. So that's what really got me started with music. And my father, if you ever hear about King Adi's song, my father started King Adi's song before Babyface and Tehran and those guys. My father started King Adi's song. So growing up in that household and listening to music, and it gave me that outlet where I felt like this is what I wanted to do about, and that's how I started music. At 5 years old, I started doing little talent shows and running around and doing music, and that's what that this is the outcome of what happened behind that.
Cool. What was your first reaction when you met Dougie Fresh?
My first reaction when I met Dougie Fresh is when I met Dougie Fresh, and I have to say, because I always, brother, what wrong with this something here? Yeah, when I first met Dougie Fresh, I met Dougie Fresh in the back of the Brooklyn Museum. There was a big show going on in the back of the Brooklyn Museum. Dougie Fresh, big up Cabra, Shaba, Bojo, and I was on that show as an opening artist. And I met Donovan, which was my manager at the time, and Dougie Fresh. And we met them at that time. My first experience with Dougie, honestly, to be real with you, I really wasn't into hip hop music. So I didn't really know who Dougie Fresh was. Really and truly. At that time, growing up, I was listening to Papa San and Brigadier Jerry and Super Cat and different kind of artists. And when I did that show, Donovan Thomas had one of the artists that he was managing at the time come and approach me and say, yo, Dougie Fresh and Donovan want to meet you. And I ended up First and Kitten. Big up Brooklyn all the time. So I ended up going to meet them. And when I went and meet them, they had a big block party. And I went over there and I performed. And that's how I met Dougie. And my first response to it was when I really went back and looked at who Dougie Fresh was, I honestly kind of felt like in myself, okay, it's getting different now. And I mean, it's not just about the love that I have for music, it's becoming a business. So that was the first instant that I had, okay, I could probably really make something out of what I'm doing. Because I never did music for money. I did music because I love music. I grew up around music. You know what I mean?
Cool.
So to answer your question, my first instant when I met Dougie and I really got to know who Dougie was okay, it's becoming a business now. I could probably make something out of myself doing music, messing with these guys.
That's dope. That is dope. So let's talk about the song Nika. How did you come up with the concept for the song?
How I came up with the concept for Nika was, at that time I was already dealing with Dougie, I was already dealing with Donovan, and I was already signed to Sony Music. And when I signed to Sony Music, like I said, like this is an interview where I'm gonna keep it so real. I wasn't born in Jamaica. I was born here in the US. At that time was my first time really going to Jamaica as an adult and knowing the culture of Jamaica and knowing what's going on in Jamaica. And Beenie Man was a guy that was being managed by my manager. So when I met Beenie Man already had the song World Dance. I want to dance with Beenie fine again, but he wasn't really known in Jamaica like that. So he said to me, Vicious, I did a song with Beenie Man on my album. I was already established artist and signed already. So he said to me, Vicious, I would like for you to do a song with the same melody. So when he said that to me, I went in the studio with Clark Kent, respect Clark Kent wherever he is in the world. And I created Nika around that song that Beenie Man already had. And that's how Nika was created.
Wow. That's a amazing story. So how old were you when Freaks originally came out then?
When I was recording Freaks, I was 12.
Okay.
But it didn't get released till I was about 13 going on 14.
Okay. Could you just describe to us what the song is actually about? Because, I mean, we were all singing it back then. Half of us didn't know the words. Half of us did know the words. But we really didn't know what we was talking about in that song.
Well, Freak was really about my life experience at that time with girls that I was dealing with, to be honest with you. Like, my household growing up, my mom's always worked from 3 in the afternoon to 12 at night. So in between that time is where I created this Vicious character.
Okay.
Because I had the space to do it. So in that space, I mean, people might not like what I'm gonna say, but in that space, I had time to interact with females and I had time to do certain things.
You was a latchkey kid, basically.
So when I was doing that, right. I met different females, and in that time, when I was doing Freaks, like Freaks was created at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I was actually coming from a club with respect Asian Jack, Donovan Thomas. I was actually coming from a club, and me, Dougie, had just came back from Jamaica. And when we was in Jamaica, Doug heard that beat pattern. And when he heard that beat pattern, he said, I want to do a song with a Jamaican beat pattern. And then he came up with that sound. Like a lot of people don't know, Doug did that rhythm with his mouth. That's not no instruments. That's Dougie Fresh. I did the beatbox with him more. You see me? So I come from a club one night and Dougie said, Vicious, where you there? And I'm like, yo, I'm coming from the club. And he like, yo, come out of the studio. And when I went in the studio and I heard the beat, automatically it made me say, some y'all are freak. And he like, yo, go in the studio, right? Go in the booth right now and do that. and that's how Freaks was created. But it was things that I was going through at that time that I put on that song.
So did you think at the time that Freaks would be so big when it came out?
I would have to honestly say no, because like I said earlier, I never did music to be big or to make money. I just love music at that time of my life. Like, it was something that I did. I grew up in Brooklyn, and where I grew up, 21st Caton, shout out to Brooklyn, 21st and Caton. Like, I grew up seeing a certain type of lifestyle. Like, my mother don't like when I say this, but my mother was a hustler. My father was a hustler. They both sold drugs. My brothers and sisters sold drugs. But for some reason, at that young age, I'm the youngest out of 5 from my mother's side. And when as young, I always had a mind where I could always look at what was going on in my surroundings. And when I was looking at my brothers and seeing my brothers get locked up and a lot of different things, I kind of wanted to do something that I didn't have to deal with the problems that I seen them deal with. And music was my way out to do that. So when I was doing that, and I met Dougie and everybody, and I was doing the songs, it was kind of like, I didn't care about money or fame. It was my peace to do music.
Cool.
You know what I mean? So when I was doing music or whatever, I never really thought about myself as this gonna make me big or nah. That's the one, the music. It gave me a peace of mind, and it kept me occupied in whatever it was that was going on in my surroundings at those times.
So if, let's just say hypothetically speaking, if Freaks never would have kicked off like it did, and your whole career never really kicked off like it did, what did you think you were going to be doing when you got older?
Honestly, if I'm being real with the public, everybody else, I sell drugs or something, because I wasn't grown in a family where you work for people. In the family that I grew up in, is either y'all gonna sell drugs, or y'all gonna play basketball, or y'all gonna do something else. I never seen myself as somebody that could do a 9 to 5 or do something like that, and that's why I grew myself and rooted myself into music, because it was kind of like I said, it was my way out, and it was something that I love to do, and that's what I promote to people right now. Like, you have to do what you love. To me, music is something that I love to this day. If I never make $1 off of music, my reward in music is when I do a show or I'm somewhere and somebody say to me, "Yo, Vicious, you know, some make 2 pick me off of Nika. Or I play Freaks, you know, one night, you know, I make a baby off of Freaks, you know." That's my reward in life, to me.
That's dope, though. So let me ask you, how do you feel that, because we are in the era of technology right now, how do you feel that the internet has either helped your career, or has it done a positive or a negative effect on your career?
At this point, I don't think it's been a negative or positive, because I've grown up in an era where I haven't really been internet savvy, if you want to say that. Now I'm starting to get into that, because when I was growing up, we didn't have internet. Everything was word of mouth.
Right.
Which to me is more significant than internet at my time. So at this time, now I have to grow into what's happening now. You know what I mean? So I would never look at what's happening now and downplay it, because in life, you got to grow. If you don't grow, you're dying, period. So when I look at what any artist is doing, whether it's internet or anything, I'm happy for these artists, because it's the way now. So what I have to do, I'm going to keep it so real. I think that's what makes old school artists old school. If you can't keep hip to what's going on now, then you're old school artists, period. I feel I keep going right now. So as far as internet and everything, I feel like it's me as a man and as an artist to be able to keep up with the times of what's going on right now and keep up to what these young kids are doing and not only follow what they're doing, but follow it and still be able to be authentic in what I do and make them understand, say, okay, I can't keep up, but I still have for sure know what make uno that on the platform or that on right now.
Okay. So let's talk about current issues for a moment. How has your quarantine life been treating you? We've been on lockdown for 2 months. So what have you used this time to do during this lockdown?
I mean, my quarantine life has been a little crazy, respect my boy M. Dot. I'm actually at his house right now. He lost his mom to this quarantine. And
Oh, wow.
I've actually been going through a lot of sickness through this quarantine as well. Like, I've been moving around and I've been getting sick here and there and dealing with certain issues. But I mean, I'm still alive and I give the Lord thanks and praise. But I've been dealing with a lot through this quarantine. I've lost a lot of people that I care about and I love through this quarantine. Fred the Godson, RIP to you, and I send my condolences to your family. I've lost people in my life that I genuinely care about and I love through this quarantine. So it's been hectic, but as a man, you got to put your grown man pants on and deal with the things that come with life. You know what I mean? But one thing I can say is that it made me more focused on the things that I care about and music as well. I've worked more through this quarantine than I probably ever worked in my life as far as making music. Mm-hmm. Respect Dougie Fresh, I'm a brother. I do this time that you probably don't know what's going on in my career, but I do 200 shows a year, period, hands down. Me, Dougie Fresh, we always on the road working. And I think that's one of the things that made me stray from putting music out. It's because I got comfortable with making money, being on the show, being on the road and doing shows. But this quarantine has made me really take a look and really realize certain things and know that it's bigger than just doing shows, and putting music out is a big part of being an artist.
Right.
We have a platform where the things we say matter. Mm-hmm. And as a kid, I never really looked at that. But in my age now, I really look at anything that I say. I want to make sure that it makes sense. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't want to just do music where you feel like, okay, he said this. When I do music, I want you to go home and think and say, yo, Vicious said something I'm off a think about right now. You know what I mean? So as far as the quarantine has been hard for me, like, I've lost a lot of people. I've been sick myself, but God, and I don't want to make this a spiritual thing, but I'm a spiritual dude, but God has a way to show you that you have to pay attention, you know what I mean? And there is a higher power than you. You know what I mean? So as far as the quarantine, it's been crazy, but I'm working through it.
Cool. So with this whole COVID-19 situation, a lot of people are thinking, it's not that serious. It's just another virus. Clearly, I mean, you said you have been affected by it during this quarantine time. What's your thoughts on the whole virus itself?
I feel like it's a man-made situation, and at the end of the day, I feel like
Did we think he's froze? Hold on, guys. Let's see if we can get him back. Froze a little bit, guys. Hopefully we can get him back. Yep, we lost him, you guys. Hold on, bear with me. Let's see if we can get him back. All right, so here it goes.
As far as the COVID, I honestly feel like this is the government doing what they do, and at the end of the day, we got to just take it as it come and figure out how to get around it. You know what I mean? It's bigger than what people think it is, and it's something deep that I feel like we will have to have a real conversation just on that. So to not really go deep into that, I feel like it's bigger than it is what it is. You know what I mean? I really don't feel like, I feel like they doing this for a reason. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm gonna leave it as that without even having to go too deep into that.
Cool. Okay, so let me ask you this. What's the best advice you have been given as long as you've been in the industry?
To not depend on nobody and do whatever it is that you got to do as an artist on your own. Like, you could be signed to a label, you could have the most important people behind you, but you have to take your career into your own hands and never take nothing personal. I think that's the best advice that I could give any artist. None of this stuff is personal. Like, I talk to people about these things all the time, and people feel like, oh, this person don't care about me and I'm not lit right now. It's not personal. Mm-hmm. It's not personal. When you get to a certain point in your career, things are going to change, but you have to put the work in to get to that point. Period. It's like when you work in a regular 9 to 5. You may do the floors for a little while. Mm-hmm. Then you may move up to a fries, but your work ethics is going to put you to where you want to be. It's all about how hard you're willing to work and what you're willing to sacrifice.
Oh. There you go. Yeah, we're there. You're back.
Up.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
You can't hear me? Okay, hold on 1 sec.
Can you hear me, Impress?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, he froze, you guys. Hold on. Let's try to get him back. All right, so while we're waiting for him to come back, let me take this time and opportunity to let all the Black businesses know, whether you're in, doesn't matter if you're in North Carolina, out of North Carolina, whatever state you're in, if you are looking for any type of promotion during the live stream, anytime that Something for the Culture goes live, we do have promotional packages we are offering. They can be found on the Something for the Culture page. All you have to do is just click the link, and it'll bring up the package, what the cost of it is, what you're getting, and go ahead and book that, and we'll be glad to shout out your business, whatever it is. Doesn't matter what kind of business. If you're selling barbecue, if you're selling hair, eyelashes, it does not matter. We will plug you in so everybody knows where your business is located. We need to know what's the location, what it is that you're selling, how they can get in contact with. Added in to that information when you are booking for promotion on Something for the Culture. And yes, there is a fee. Like I said, the fee is located in that package when you go to the page. Also, for any unsigned artists, if you are looking to have an interview on Something for the Culture, Promotional package price is also on Something for the Culture page. You can go ahead and click the link that will bring up booking times, dates, and how much it is for the interview. You will get an hour, just like any other person that has graced this platform. You will get an hour interview, and flyers come with that. Everything is listed in that promotional package. So I hope you guys take advantage of that. Let me see if I can get Vicious not back. If not, then we'll go ahead and close this interview out for this evening. So 1 second. All right, welcome back.
Welcome.
Cool. So as you were saying before, you got froze.
Yeah, so where we was at, because I'm kind of lost at this point. I was trying to get this computer back working.
Sure. You were talking about the best advice you was given, and you would give that advice to anybody.
Yeah, the best advice that I could probably give any artist or anybody that's trying to come up: take responsibility for your career. I don't care who you're working with. I don't care who your manager is. I don't care what record label you with. Everything really depends on you and how hard you're willing to go. Period. Your work is going to be what determines how far you are in this game. And even with me, I could say that I ain't even gonna hold no punches. I could say that my lifestyle with me growing up the way I grew up, and I respect Dougie Fresh, I made certain decisions that I probably wouldn't have made knowing everything that I know now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, like I grew up in a household where my mom sold drugs, my pop sold drugs, my brother sold drugs, and even with me trying to break away from that and be a musician, sometimes your environment can stray you to do certain things that you know you're not supposed to do. But if you believe in yourself and you believe in your talent, do everything that you could possibly do to stand 10 toes down on what you're doing, and your results will show.
That's a dope message you just gave to anybody that's trying to come up. Now I've had a few people on the platform that when they have came up here, they always say that you have to know the business first before you can become an artist in this industry. Would you say the same?
I mean, I would say that that's a good advice to give somebody, but certain people are not going to know the business first. And it doesn't mean that because you don't know the business, you still shouldn't go for what it is that you're trying to do. One thing that I believe in, I'm a very spiritual person. I believe in crack the door and let God in, and he'll show you the way. You know what I mean? And certain people are not fortunate enough to know the business, but you know your craft though.
Yes.
Know your craft. And one thing that I know for sure is that your craft will open doors for you that you never imagined that it'll open for you if you believe it. It's like God. If you believe in God, he'll open doors for you that you never believed in. And it's the same thing with your craft. You have to believe. And that's what I want to say to everybody too, as far as upcoming artists. I never thought that I could make money from music. I did music because I loved it. You have to believe in what you're doing, period, for it to open doors for you. When you walk in a room with people that can open doors, they sense that energy that you believe in what you do. And once you believe, you can make a nation believe. Open that door for you. When one door closed, there's another door that opens. Just because one door closed, don't watch that door. If you believe, you're going to open the doors that's necessary for you to be great.
That's good advice. That's actually excellent advice. So what's next for you? Now you're no longer Little Vicious, you're Vicious. So what's next for you?
What's next for me is that I'm doing a lot of music right now. If you go on any platform, I just released 2 songs. I released my first song for a long time called Creep. And I want to say that too. Like Creep is kind of like a Brooklyn drill song. I don't do gangster music. Like let's just get that clear. I did that song because I see the wave that's going on in Brooklyn and I see that whole thing, and I did it just to show my versatility that I can do this type of music. You know what I mean? But I'm releasing a whole lot of new music. I'm working with different artists. I'm putting different artists out. Just the same way Doug put me out. I want to open the door for different artists. If you know, my Instagram is Don_Vicious. Follow my gram. If you got new music, send it. Like, I really just want to open the door for people as far as do music now too, for myself, just to show people that I still, you know what I mean, do this. But my plan right now is to really open the door for upcoming artists and really let people show the world what they could do as far as what has happened for me in my life. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with it. I'm doing this documentary right now where I'm showing different things that happen in my life. Like my life story is not normal. It's not normal. And I think that when people get to really realize who Vicious is and what I've been through, is going to be an eye opener for a lot of people. Like Tupac, respect Tupac and rest in peace. Tupac came to pick me up at my house and I never even knew Tupac. It was the people that I was affiliated with. I did a song with Biggie and Tupac on the same record. It's on YouTube right now. You could go look at it. It's called Running from the Police original version. The only reason why that song wasn't released is because at the time I just signed to Sony and I got shot at 9 years old. And on the song I was talking gangster shit. And Sony wouldn't let me release it or let Tupac and them release it because they like, yo, he just got shot. We don't want that publicity around him. But like what I'm doing right now is I just want people to understand my story and things that I've been through in my life, because when you really realize the things that I've been through and the things that I went through for this music thing is deep. And at the end of the day, if I never sell another record again or whatever, I think my story and me being able to help different artists and them realizing that whatever they go through in their life, it holds a part in where you gotta go. So that's what I'm really doing.
Well, hopefully when you're ready to release the documentary, you'll come back to the culture and let us release it for you whenever you're ready to do that.
Oh, absolutely. But before I release the documentary, I got songs out right now. Like I said, you could go to YouTube. I got a song right now called Temperature. I got a song right now called Creep. And how I'm dealing with it right now, like I said, is beyond money. So I'm releasing 2 songs a month. If it wasn't for the COVID right now, my visual would be crazy. But what's going on right now in New York City, I'm not really able to go and shoot and do the things that I want to do. But every month, I'm going to be releasing at least 2 songs a month, period. Because I have at least 200 songs that I'm sitting on that I feel comfortable about, that I know that I bring a certain kind of joy and a certain kind of energy. Because like I said, I don't do gangster music. If you follow my career, I like to make people happy, man. It's a certain thing when you can put a smile on somebody's face.
Yo,
that's what I do.
Your songs back in the day, because I grew up on you. So literally your songs back in the day was the skate key anthems back then. Everybody was skating with their little boyfriend or their little girlfriend with freaks, doing their little tricks. So, I have grown up with your entire career. And when I can say that, you was always one of my top 5 that I always used to listen to.
I appreciate that.
So, and even with the Temperature song, I got a chance to listen to that when you dropped it. I think I even shared it when it came out. Yeah, that shit right there. That's a little Liddy song right there, real lit.
Oh man, I got a song right now called Coney Island. And honestly, as much as I want to shoot a video for Temperature, this song that I got right now, it makes me feel so happy that I did this song. And honestly, it made me feel like I'm 13 again. Because like I said, I don't do gangster music. I don't want nobody to confuse me with what I do. Like my job in life as a creator showed me, I like to make people happy. There's a certain type of joy that I get when I do a show and I get on and people sing my song. That's my joy in life.
No, that's right.
I mean, that's what make me happy. And lay down and say, damn, I did that show tonight and I made people go home with a memory. You know what I mean? Like when people walk up to me and they say, yo, Vicious, I heard Nika. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I did a song. I made a kid to that. Like that's my reward. Money. I don't know if we could curse on this.
Yeah, you listen.
Money. If you could,
ain't no filter.
that you gotta live with for the rest of your life, or for a song that I made. That's my reward, man. I can live with that. I'm happy.
I know that's right. Quick, real quick, I want to shout out Drew McFly in the comments. The McFly shirts, he's in the comments. So shout out to you, Drew McFly.
Yeah, McFly, you need to send me some shirts, bro. I'm out here working. You need to send me some shirts so we can wear that in the next interview and support each other as Black people. You know what I mean? Let's go.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Listen, don't worry. I'm gonna get your contact information before we end this. Well, after the show, so we can get that transpired. So let me ask you this last question. So being that you have a documentary coming out, and are you going to get back into doing shows since, you know, the ban has been lifted? Oh, think he might have froze again, you guys. Hold on. There you go. Hold on, we lost him. So while we're trying to get him back for the closing up of this interview, real quick again, McFly shirts. If y'all looking to get one, send a message to Something for the Culture. I will also add that information up on the page, how you could get a McFly shirt, or if you're looking for a Something for the Culture shirt, I will go ahead and link that information on the page as well. Let me see if I can get him back real quick. All right, he's having a little bit of trouble, guys. Give him a couple of minutes. Let's see. All right. In the meantime, he's working on trying to get it. All right. So let me tell you what we got coming up on the culture. So for the rest of the month, we have a few interviews I might want to look out for on the culture. We have Michael Stimley, former A&R in the Scope Records. He has a new book out. Y'all want to look out for that. interview. That's actually going to be on May 31st. And then we have Cuban Link and Gilly with his brother Gilly Delgado on June 5th. They're actually going to be back on here talking about their days in the TS and Fat Joe and all of that. So I want to listen for that interview. That's going to be on June 5th. Welcome back, Vicious.
Welcome, Empress.
Okay, so do you have any closing remarks or any shout outs you want to give to anybody or any mentions?
I want to definitely say big up Dougie Fresh wherever you at. You know what I mean? It's been
Up froze again, guys.
definitely salute to Slick Rick. And I definitely want to give a shout out to my brother right now, M. Porter, Kenzie, that lost his mom through this COVID. And I need a lot of y'all to pray for my brother right now. You know what I mean? It's been a hard situation, and it's somebody that I care about daily. And to take, everything off of that too, as far as any upcoming artists, like I said, just take responsibility for your career. Nothing ain't personal. If somebody don't mess with you today, but they mess with you because you lit, don't take it personal. You got to work in this industry. Your work is what's going to make people look at you and want to mess with you. It's not personal. Just do what you got to do to put yourself in that spot to be what you want to be, and just let the Lord work for you. You know what I mean? And as far as that go, Don Vicious to the world. You know what I mean? Hot score forever. Don Vicious, Don _Vicious. Instagram, follow my page, man. I got a lot of things that I'm working on. Big up to my man Shaheem that just came home. He just did 7 years. Mm-hmm. Congratulations, bro. I'm glad you made it through your situation. I'm glad you home with us. You got history. And let's just work, man. And I hope that everybody's staying safe. And that's it, man.
Real quick, because there actually was a question if you had talked to Shaheem since he's been home.
Absolutely. Me and Shaheem talk every day. That's my brother. Like, when it comes to people that I care about in my life, like I was saying earlier in the interview, if you realize what said, like certain people I hold dear to my heart. You know what I mean? And since Shaheem came home, we've been going back and forth. I'm sending him records. He's sending me records to see where we could pick up from where we left off at and still make sure that it makes sense and it make people happy. Like,
so are we going to get a Vicious?
A lot of people heard. You know, I want to say this too before we get off. Before we get off, I did a song called "Creep," and I got a lot of DMs in my Instagram, and they like your creative. Like, it's like a movie. You might see Denzel Washington, and he might be certain things. Like, it's music. Let me be creative. I don't do gangster music, and you're probably not going to hear no more gangster music from me. But in this era that we live in, I just want to show y'all my versatility and show y'all that I can still keep up to whatever it is that's going on now.
I know that's
you know what I mean. But as far as Shaheem, we're going to definitely come up with some heat that's going to make y'all dance, and that's my goal in life. I want to see when I do a show, I make y'all happy, because that's what I do. From a kid till now, I want to do things that make people happy. I want to be
up there.
But me and Shaheem got some heat coming. Mark that. And it's going to be just like Life of a Shorty, where you go home and you think about it and you're like, yeah, they did their thing. And that's just my goal in life, man.
So can we expect the Shaheem and Vicious track coming soon? Is that what you're trying to say? Oh, I think you might have froze again, guys. All right, so I think we lost.
Absolutely. Before summer,
There you go. Go ahead, you have
yeah, before
froze.
the summer done, you could definitely expect the Lil Vicious and Shaheem record.
Okay.
And for those, I don't want to say old school, but we doing a tour coming up with the dudes of my era, which is me, Shaheem, A Plus, who else was it? Immature. So it's gonna be every group that was popping, that was young in my era, that's still able to come out and perform. We're working on a tour to do that right now.
Mm.
So that's what we're doing too. And if you want to see that, y'all might need to hit my gram or hit Shaheem gram or whatever and let us know that's what y'all trying to see, because we in the process of making that thing work out so we could come out and come and perform for y'all and, you know what I mean, create a certain kind of energy and open the atmosphere and let people go back into that time of their life where, you know, things was fun and let y'all, you know, go back into some thoughts that make you think different and feel like, you know what, I remember these days. You know what I mean?
That's dope. I would go to that. I know that much. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would too, as well.
Absolutely. And that's what
So
we're trying to do. We're trying to create, you know what I mean, that so people could come out and just really enjoy themselves and just know that, you know, we just trying to bring back a certain memory in your lifetime where you could go back and just, you know what I mean, just revisit that for a minute.
right, that little era that we had then. To me, that was the best era, but that's just my opinion. So,
I
but
can
Vicious,
agree.
I want to thank you for gracing the culture with your presence first and foremost. It was a pleasure having you on and you being so refreshingly honest about who you are, the man behind Vicious, because many people don't know, they just know you for Vicious, they don't know who you actually are. So thank you for that.
I appreciate you for having me.
No problem. So, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this segment up. We will be back on the 31st with Michael Stimley, A&R Interscope Records. He used to work for, and he's good friends with Teddy Riley. So I'm gonna try to see if we can get maybe
Shout
some
out Teddy
inside.
Riley, man.
So
My
see if we
guy.
get some inside thoughts on his, thoughts on the verse battle he did with Babyface and, on his new book as well. So y'all tune in for that. And Vicious, I hope you hang around after the segment so we could get some contact information. We send you some gear and stuff. And y'all have a good evening, guys. Y'all enjoy this weather and enjoy being free because God knows we had a long
And
2 months, guys.
stay safe, man. Don't be scared to wear your mask outside. This COVID is not over. Put your
Right. Right. All right, guys. Y'all
and
have
that's
a
all I
good
want to say. All right, bro. Bye.